Okay, so at this point in time, I have built a relatively sustainable videography business, and here is how to do that. So number one, obviously, is you have to charge money to run a business. And the topic of money is so heavily debated with videography because on one hand, you want to make as many connections as possible by charging the least amount of money. At the same time, you should value yourself and the artwork that you do behind the things that you do. So where's the happy middle ground? Well, I'm here to say that charging high versus charging low actually serves two separate purposes. Now, as I previously mentioned, charging high respects the artwork and your work and you won't get burnt out. But at the same time, charging low will get you into more doors. But there's a way to go about it. And here's what I mean. If you charge high right off the bat, people will not book you. They won't. They're like, you don't even have a portfolio, so why would I book you, someone that is like fairly new compared to someone that is more money and is highly reliable? Well, at the same time, if you charge too low, they are also going to think, what's wrong with you? Why are you charging too low? How can I trust your work? Why would I spend money with you if I can't trust you to the highest level extent, right? And maybe this is something that you have to prove your worth. And a lot of other people will also say, like, that's a banging deal, I'll take it, because they don't know what they're actually getting. Now, for starting out, I actually recommend pricing yourself out just below average. I'm not saying charge $50, $75, or $100. I'm saying charge like $500. And before you call me out saying, Zach, I can't charge $500, no one will ever hire me. Here's the thing. If you price yourself out at $500, but you shoot for free, or you offer an extremely large discount, at the same time that they're getting a deal, they're also still valuing you at $500. And because you either shot for free or you gave a heavy large discount on top of the shoot that you're doing for this random client, you're also putting in their head that they should value you at $500. However, you're their favorite because you're giving them a deal. And because of that, they're going to recommend people to you because, hey, this guy's really great. He usually charges $500, but I got him for $250. Awesome. There's like a psychological thing that happens there. When you give discounted or free work, it is the fastest way to build network. A network is a group of people that someone knows someone that needs services, or someone knows someone that needs your services, and it's the fastest way to build. Absolutely, hands down. But you also have to make sure that when you're giving discounts or doing free work, you're doing it on your own terms, not the client's. Because when they're on the client's terms, they are going to use and abuse you. Don't even try. But highly recommend charging $500 and then just give discounted rates. That way they know to respect your work and you as a photographer or videographer at $500. Adversely, if you charge too little, one, they're not going to respect you at that $500 price point, which means you're not going to get ideal clients, and it doesn't build a network because they're like, oh yeah, I hired a cheap photographer for $100, or I hired a cheap videographer for $100. And when that word goes around, that then destroys your reputation before you even have a chance to raise your prices. Because like, oh, last week he was $100, but now he's like $500. That doesn't make sense. So start out by charging just below average. After you have your pricing down, the other thing that you have to do is market. Now, there are 1,000,001 different ways to actually market yourself out there. You can either post to Instagram, run Facebook ads, maybe create a YouTube channel just to talk about the things that you want to talk about and build your portfolio that way. Or you could be the more humanistic approach, because everyone's posting to Instagram, everyone's running Facebook ads, but what sets you apart? For me, it was meeting people in person. One of the two greatest people that I work with, I actually just met at a coffee shop randomly. And I just approached them at whatever table they were sitting at, and I said, hi, my name is Zach. Who are you? I'm trying to meet new people. And that just opens up the conversation. But when you do this, it takes an uncomfortable amount of courage to do. So you have to be willing to feel super uncomfortable, and you have to be a little bit delusional that this person's okay with even talking to you in the first place. Please be aware that you do not want to try to sound salesy. So when you approach a random stranger, ask them about them, and then introduce who you are, what you do. Right after you meet this person, ask them who the coolest person that they know is. The coolest, most successful person they know, right? From there, get in contact with that person. And once you get into contact with that person, offer them free work or discounted work from your original price of $500. Then you're building a strong network with really cool, successful people. There's a couple cool networking groups that you can get a part of. I know in Reno, Lake Tahoe, and Carson City area, there are 3 or 4 different wedding groups that I'm personally a part of. And because I go to those wedding groups, people know my face, they know I do my work. I even sometimes shoot the networking meetings that we have like once a month, just to either A, build portfolio, or getting really nice with the venue that we're meeting at, because we usually meet up at a wedding venue. If you charge the right price and you respect yourself, but give discounted rates, you build a network. If you charge low, it builds nothing. By the way, if you don't know what your rate is, literally ChatGPT it. How much do videographers cost in Kansas City, Missouri? Whatever. I heard this one saying that, success is really doing the obvious thing for an absurd amount of time. So if you want to be a YouTuber, make YouTube videos, which is the obvious thing, for an absurd long time. So I've been doing this for a little over half a year now, and I'm super excited what the future may bring. But I hope you learned something in this little TED Talk that I gave you. This is what I take my notes on, by the way. Super random, super cool, super obsessed. I have tearaway pieces. You didn't need to know this stuff, but now you do. But I will see you guys next week.